We've got quite an interesting research initiative going on. Florida DOT and the National Cooperative Highway Safety Research Program are endeavoring to put together a model, mathematical model, that reflects how people feel, the John Q. public, if you will, feels in walking through intersections and along roadway segments.
Here in Florida, we have at the surface what looks to be one of the highest pedestrian crash rates and pedestrian fatality rates in the nation. Our responsibility from what I would consider as a Department of Transportation standpoint is to not make the problem that we have any worse and to do our best to improve it. We need to balance the needs of moving a lot of different people in a lot of different modes.
As planners and engineers throughout the United States, traffic engineers, we've done very well at designing intersections to accommodate motor vehicles. We've not spent quite as much effort on accommodating pedestrians, and so today is one of the big data collection efforts to give us information to create some of the tools, the analytical tools, to enable engineers, planners to better accommodate pedestrians through intersections.
Well, actually, the Walk for Science is 3 different events, or 3 different research projects. We have a Walk for Science for intersections, where we're trying to find out how people are accommodated as they walk through intersections. We also have a Walk for Science for facilities, and the facility consists of the intersection plus the segments of roadway between intersections. And then we have a video simulation Walk for Science, in which we're trying to determine how to calibrate a video from a walker's point of view to real-world experiences, and so that instead of having to put people out on a course everywhere, we can show them a video of local conditions and they can grade it and we can calibrate it back to the field data.
Of course, one of the challenges you face when you put together a Walk for Science event like this one is finding an urbanized area where the intersections represent a variety of types and also represent typical intersections from across Florida or across the United States.
The reason we chose Sarasota is we found that by using the downtown area, we could have a very compact urban course where we picked up all of the variables we needed for the intersection as well as for the facilities, and also have the video simulation staging rooms in close proximity to those courses. So it worked out very well from a logistics and course planning standpoint.
We also chose Sarasota because there's a significant amount of in-migration in Sarasota. People who are in Sarasota, they haven't lived there all their lives. They've lived most of their lives somewhere else. So there's a good representative population of people from around the country in Sarasota. What we did when we designed the course for the event was we took 23 intersections in a very small area, and we're going to walk our pedestrians through those intersections. And at the same time they're walking through the intersection, we are going to be collecting huge amounts of data. We're going to have over 20 tube counters out on the roadways. We're going to have 40 cameras taking pictures of our pedestrians as they walk through the intersections so that we can get the delay, we can get the number of turning cars, we can get the speed of the cars on the roadway. It really is a huge data collection gathering event, and there's a lot of logistics involved.
We've got about 40 people that are going to be involved in this from an event staff standpoint. The core group is going to show up at around 6 o'clock, and we're going to disperse the equipment folks right off in 2 teams, 2 technical teams, and they're going to set up in opposite directions going around the course. They have 22 intersections to set up and multiple cameras at some intersection. Once that equipment is set up, it needs to be tested and checked, and that includes the video simulation rooms. All that has to be set up and checked. This all has to happen before the first person shows up to walk the course. Then the event starts running.
So once people had registered for the event, they went over to the video simulation staging area, and they were met outside by a briefer who gave them a scorecard and went over some instructions with them, basically going over the viewing procedure and some instructions on the grading.
Each intersection can be graded from A to F. A is the best, F is the worst. Circle the letter grade that best describes how you feel the intersection accommodates and serves your needs as a pedestrian. That's the crucial part.
There were two main purposes why we had the video simulation portion of the event. One was to expand the range of variables to which we were able to expose the participants. For one thing, there were certain limitations on the course itself, so we brought in some intersections from a larger metropolitan area. And also, it expands the range because it allows you to expose participants to places you might not normally want to put them out there in the intersections because of higher volumes or something like that. The video itself took about 30 minutes, and I'd say overall the video procedure from beginning to end was about 45. And by the time they got to the point where they had entered the room and finished, they then checked back out and went on to the walking course portion of the event.
So I'll trade you a card for your ticket. All the intersections on the course that you score are marked with orange signs where they begin and where they end. And only score the intersections that are marked with the orange signs, because you'll cross other intersections, but they won't have the signs, so you just need to cross them safely. And
they'll be numbered.
Right, the orange signs will be numbered, and the number will correspond to the number on the sign, similar to what you did in the video room. When you get to the intersection, push the pedestrian button that signals the pedestrian phase. We have a video set up at every single intersection so that we're watching and using the information based on when that button is pushed, how long it takes to cross, what the traffic is doing, all those different things. And if you were to not obey the pedestrian laws, it makes your scores invalid, and we can't use them. When you cross the intersections, you must obey all the traffic laws. And what this means is that begin crossing the intersections when the pedestrian signal shows a walk display or the white walking man or walking dude symbol. If there's no pedestrian signal, you just cross when the traffic signal is green from the parallel roadway traffic, and it's safe to cross.
The reason we have to do an event such as this is that we have to portray a vast array of transportation facilities to allow people to rate those on an A through F scale. We can't simply do intercept surveys, in other words, asking pedestrians on the street, because at that particular point they may just experience one intersection now have a good comparative basis. An event such as this allows a good wide spectrum for comparative basis to enable us to have very accurate planning tools.
So when you're out there walking and you're rating these intersections, tell me what 3 things you're looking for. What are the primary factors for you when you're rating?
Traffic is one of them. How many lanes I have to cross over.
Okay, so the
distance, especially if there's not a safety zone in between. And the traffic, by that I mean people coming around as, you can turn right on red type of thing. And there was 2 that came right across when I was right in the lane.
I did not feel comfortable going into some of those intersections where the drivers just came right up through that pedestrian crosswalk. I had to make sure I had eye contact because I didn't want to get hit.
Why do you consider that intersection to be an E?
It was rough concrete around it, and there was no real defining pedestrian lane.
Okay.
Confident and I feel like cars will see me. I feel safe crossing.
Safe, so B is
So put
safe.
that, B is safe.
Okay, and so what's a C?
C is, I would say I'm cautious.
Cautious.
F was one that I thought was so dangerous we shouldn't have that one. I think I did put one as an F.
So it's too dangerous.
This kind of research is very expensive in that we have to survey a lot of people in order to get their opinions on how well our urban streets are performing, and we have to build models to that. And Florida is the only state that has really gone into this kind of depth of research into multimodal level service, and they're the leaders of the country. It's a real opportunity for us at a national level to learn from what Florida's been doing and to carry it on to the other states of the Union.
She's
She steps off at 148.
She does not encounter any perpendicular rights or parallel lefts, but she is going to have some up there.
And
looks like that vehicle yielded.
The results tell us two major things. First, how pedestrians perceive intersections, and second, how that perception affects their behavior. We analyzed the data and came up with a model showing that the three most important aspects of crossing intersections for pedestrians were 1. Potential conflicts with traffic, 2. Exposure to traffic, and 3. Delay. Our research will help practitioners to design intersections that accommodate pedestrians better. For example, about 30% of motor vehicle pedestrian crashes at intersections involve turning vehicles. Pedestrians will feel safer and more comfortable when turning movements are restricted, and we expect to see this reflected in fewer crashes.
The resulting mathematical model accurately reflects how intersections accommodate pedestrians. The model includes geometric and operational factors. Some of the operational factors include the number of right turns on red, the number of permitted left turns. It includes operational factors such as the volume of traffic that a pedestrian must cross and the speed of the traffic the pedestrian crosses. It includes things such as the delay that the pedestrian experiences. The model also includes geometric factors such as the distance or the number of lanes that a pedestrian must cross through the intersection. And then through the use of video simulation, we're able to include in the model the effect of right turn storage lanes and the effect of the channelization islands. These factors and conditions can be influenced during the design of an intersection. So traffic engineers and roadway designers can use this mathematical model to design intersections to better accommodate pedestrians.
It's like everything else. To me, learning as a pedestrian that had to do a lot of walking today, every intersection speaks for itself, and I guess I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I know it was a good chance for me. I'm older, so I walk a little slower than some people. I have handicaps, so it allows me to get some input maybe into what's going to be better for us.
This research at the state level will address the safety issues and also better address how the pedestrians view walking along the roadways, what's important to them, what can we do better in the state to make it a more pedestrian-friendly environment.